Hi folks, welcome back. It's Colin Fraser. We're talking the Raza tutorials and design series, and in this particular tutorial I want to talk about some talk about the font families in the template, and a couple of special ones we put in. Now by default, all the fonts you see in the template are using what we call the Open Sans. It's a Google font, and it is a great font because you can use a very large version and a smaller version and even narrow versions right down here, because there's quite a few different options for that same font, which is great. So it has a nice consistent look throughout the site. But there are certain situations where we want to have a special font, something that has a real cool look to it, or a real, just by using it, calls the user's attention directly to that particular font. And here's an example on our homepage right here, where it says website. Now what we've used is we're using what's called font number 2. It's the Shadows into Light font family. It's once again a Google font, but we've applied it to this particular element. And there's another piece of text on the home page that uses a third font family, and that's the Laura font. And I'm just going to scroll down, and it's a serif font here, a nice curved font. Okay, not quite like Times New Roman or any of the standard fonts you would see. It's a nicer looking font. And we use it right down here. And you can use any of these fonts anywhere in the website by applying a class to your font. So first of all, let's find out where these classes are located. So if we go into Dreamweaver or your web editor, and we open up the site and the styles base, we're going to look for the section heading of font families. As you can see here, we use these headings here quite extensively to sort of, or comments if you want to call it that, to let folks know what type of information is listed directly below it. So let's just scroll down until we find the font families. There's font colors and there's font families. We have 3 font classes: font 1, font 2, font 3. I know it's not overly descriptive. We didn't put a descriptor in here because if you were to go and change the font family name, then whatever we called the class wouldn't really apply anymore. So we've just gone with a generic 1, 2, and 3, so you can change the font family name. Now, if you want to change the font family name, you probably need to load in the font family into the page. I'll show you the short and easy way of doing this. We'll just pull up a web browser, and we'll type in Google Fonts. Okay, and you can now go to the Google Fonts website, and you can browse through the many different font families that they have. Let's say, for example, we're going to go with Jim Nightshade. Okay, so let's just click on this here, and it brings it up in the page so we can see it. It looks great. If you like it, right, you can just simply hit the select this font, or you can even do it from the previous page. You can just hit the add button. And right down here, the font family selected shows up, right? Of course, this is going to change over time. I just know it, all right? But you can use the link and add that link to your website or your web page. You may need to add it to your template DWT or to individual pages if you just want it to show on certain pages. But an easier way to use this is just to go to the import, okay, and select this import right here, okay, and then you can go back to your base styles. You can go up to the top or bottom. Actually, the top is what I recommend. And right here at the top of the page, right above the HTML, just paste in the import to import that font. So that's the font family you're importing. And if we go back to our using or specifying the family name, we would copy this font family, Jim Nightshade, cursive, and then we go down to say font 2. We're going to go find those font families. We can either replace existing like so if we don't want to use that Shadows into Light, or we can just simply do a dot font 4 bracket, enter, and then paste in the font family of Jim Nightshade in. Now we've created our own unique font class. It's going to load in the Jim Nightshade, and we can now add this to any particular text element in the site. So with that said, how do we apply this class? Let's just open up a page. I'll open up my one column. And if you watch the other video, the previous video on changing font colors, same sort of thing. We need to first of all apply or wrap our text in a class. Okay, we're going to go to the full design. We're going to turn off our visual aids because they just get in the way. And let's say we want to select this last paragraph here and change that bit of text to use our new font Jim Nightshade. So what we do is we select the text and we need to wrap it in a span class. Many different ways. You can use the class selector down here, but because there's so many classes in Bootstrap, it takes forever to find it. My shortcut, I wrap it in the strong tag or the bold tag to start with. Excuse me. And once I've done that, then I edit the tag. I just right click where it says strong. I go quick tag editor, double click on the word strong and type in span. Then I hit the space bar, type in CL for class, and as you can see down here, it automatically picks the class. Double click, and now I'm going to type in the word font. And it's going to take me down to anything with the name of font in it, and I can select from 1, 2, 3, or 4, hit 4, enter, and you can now see the new font being used.